If I was Alex, I would have killed him. I'd have killed him. You talking about, I'm sorry. No, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you. How dare you? How dare you let us come this far only to lose your resolve?
Nigga fucking cry.
Monkey D. Goofy. D. Goofy. You're slobbering this bad guy.
Why would they do that, bro?
Bro, because it's getting you ready, dog. Yeah, no! Oh, man. Ooh. What is good, y'all? It's your boy T-Rav. I'm here with another video right now. I got Runaways. This is like episode 8 of season 1, just after episode 8. And, you know, we'll kind of touch on things that have already happened so far also, but I will say this. Runaways is damn good about packing a whole lot of stuff into the show because we hit so many different levels in these past couple episodes that it's kind of crazy. Like, I wasn't too fond of the last episode, and I'm upset. All right, I'm upset that I lost it. All right, like Drake said, but you know, it had to be banished to the nether realm. You know, but we're not gonna talk about that episode, okay? But what we are gonna talk about is all the stuff that took place in this episode. So we kind of pick up after Victor and Janet and Robert and Tina got outed, which is really just Robert and Janet. Janet got outed. Bruh, that stuff was crazy because they're in this weird space where obviously Nico's dad has left the house. He's not living there anymore because obviously they're not on good terms, and Tina's not trying to fix it. He's not trying to fix it, really and truly, I think was the big issue because he just didn't love Tina no more, pretty much. Because he told, when he told Nico, she was like, you know, I'm sure you could talk to her and you can fix this. And he's like, but that's not what I want. What he really wants us to be with Janet, which is crazy because she wants nothing to do with this nigga. And she just thinks it was some fling or whatever. But it's really crazy what this nigga Robert does way later on. But I'm going to get there. But you know, I kind of feel bad for Victor because it's like he's in this weird spot where, well, obviously he got healed by JONAH's seed. Okay, they say it was created from an extraordinary being's DNA. All right, and then you know, Frank is over here having visions of Leslie getting the work by JONAH back in the bedroom while he's being beta male. NTR and that shit. That shit's crazy, dog. But he doesn't really remember those memories like that, but he is getting like flashes of it. But he hasn't put all the pieces together that his wife is clearly the playmate for JONAH, and I guess is the person that can bring out his power, if you know what I'm saying. And also she even heavily alludes to this to him, but he hasn't put all the pieces together. She thinks that he's truly knows everything, I think, but he really doesn't know that Carolina is not his daughter and that that's actually JONAH's daughter. But there was also a photo that Frank found in, I guess, her father's desk, and it has JONAH standing there as a grown man and Leslie in 8th grade as a little girl. And it's like, my suspicion was right all along. I'm sorry. That's her dad. It's not really her dad because she states later that her father and him were friends. So it's just weird, dog, because it's like that dude watched her grow up and all that, and now that's his female, so to speak, or whatever, the person he uses, and she even admits how she's ashamed of her role in her relationship with JONAH, which is like, please, like, no one's gonna feel sympathy for you, woman. Like, not only have you not told Carolina the truth about who her father actually is, you got this nigga Frank running around here looking like a fucking idiot. Which is really weird because JONAH seems to be taking him under his wing and is giving him things that he's never even given Leslie before. Like, he even gave this dude, like, healing gloves, and he's performed, like, a miracle before and stuff. So, you know, it's it's really kind of strange because he even tells Frank that he actually did go Ultra and he didn't even know it. So there are mysteries going on, but the way they broke it down is that going into Leslie's father's religion, which is the religion based around Jonah, I guess, who is the being of light that they, I guess, created this whole religion around. But really, he's just like a pseudo immortal type dude who has to keep taking in sacrifices in order to sustain his life. And it's really strange because he goes to great lengths in this episode to try and save Victor, because Victor, well, not only he tries to save him before, after the whole cheating scandal got out there, his condition starts deteriorating because he's got a huge brain tumor, right? And that's obviously something that could very easily explain all the different mood swings, how he's been progressively getting worse and worse. But at the end of the day, you still did what you did to your son back in the day. Like, I understand that his son was upset, or Chase was upset that his dad didn't show up to his city championship or whatever when he was like 10. But it's like, and I know he popped off at the mouth, but you totally dismissed it, dog. You acted like it wasn't even no thing at all. So you can't be surprised when he starts popping off at the mouth. But I'm not gonna lie, I would probably smacked him, but he full on popped his ass a couple times. So that kind of lets you know that that dynamic is what it is, and that's how it's been for a very long time. And who knows how long it's been that way with Janet. So I get it on Robert's part. I really do, because he has been her escape, that she's been coming to him and, you know, telling him all her problems, and he's been the one to make her feel safe in a way. And it's weird because at the open house, which is the first time Victor's ever gone to this, because he got healed from Jonah, and it's caused him to have a total personality shift. He's acting all nice and happy, and he even, you know, has a little confrontation with Robert, which gets a little testy, but he acts all normal at first. He's like, thank you so much for giving my wife what I couldn't at her time of need. And then he grips his ass real close, but they don't do anything. So it's like, you know, it's a whole lot of peacocking, and it's really funny because, like, the parents are just as bad as the kids. It's like the parents never left high school either. They had this one group, but there's so much interpersonal conflicts going on in between them all. It's just kind of hilarious because Janet doesn't like Tina and Tina doesn't like Janet, but Tina also doesn't really like, she respects Leslie, but at the same time, she views herself as the smartest, not the other way around, which is how Leslie feels it is. So there's a lot of jockeying for position going on within the group known as Pride. But what's crazy is that, you know, like I said, Victor got healed by Jonah, and then he's going to his open house, you know. And that episode was just, honestly, just, oh, God. More drama, more drama, more drama. I like it, and I love it, but it makes me fucking sick, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. All right, so the relationship between Alex and his parents is getting, like, even more standoffish. But at this point, Alex's parents are just trying to figure out just how much Alex knows. And they're very suspicious of him and everything. But so are pretty much all the parents at this time. But the other thing that's going on is that Molly's having some issues, right? Molly there begins to be a little rift in the group because, you know, Molly doesn't feel like she's been listened to, and that they're not really her friends, so she kind of breaks away from the group for a bit, and then she goes and she tries to get accepted into the whole cheer squad again. And Eiffel, this fucking bitch, I hate this woman, okay? If you know, you know, she's in Originals, and her name is Davina in that show. She makes me fucking sick. She always plays this fucking bitch every time. It doesn't matter what show it is, but hey, you know, it works. It works well. And they're just dunking on her ass, and it's ridiculous. And, you know, it's that petty high school bullshit. And she's like, oh, I want to just be a part of the team. I'll work my way up. I'll do whatever. And they're like, oh, we got a spot for you. Team manager. Wash our rags, bitch. And it's so messed up. It really is, because you watch all this happen, and she just kind of goes along with it, and then Carolina goes over there and she tries to comfort her and stuff because she's the only one that kind of went after her and looked after her. Gert, that's your little sister. You supposed to make her feel better, but and then something even worse kind of happens with Molly, because later on things are going on with Dale and Stacy and Pride. So since Alex's parents know that Molly knows everything, they're even bringing up the option of mind wiping Molly. So I know what Dale and Stacy are trying to do. They're trying to get Molly out of the way and like out of sight, out of mind, and hopefully like they think that that's going to be enough to keep Pride off of their back and not have her come wipe their child's mind. But it's so messed up because that's her biggest fear, dog. And what they choose to do is go dump her off at a relative's house, which is just a friend of her actual parents. And they don't really explain anything. And they talk about, we can't really explain everything to you right now, but this is for the best, and this isn't a discussion, so you're gonna have to just do what we say. And honestly, it's really wild because like Gert comes in at the moment and kind of like holds her back because she was getting fired up for a second, and honestly, she was about to let Dale have it, and I don't blame her, because it's like that is, and Gert breaks it down in that moment. She's like, "What the hell is wrong with y'all? Like, this is her worst nightmare." It's like she feels like she's being abandoned, but this time by choice. Last time she already lost her real parents, and that's y'all are the family, the only family she's got now. Even if it's not real, she feels that way, and to feel like she's just being dumped to the curb, like she's garbage, like it's tough, man. It's tough. So I get it. And when they dumped her off over at Graciella's house, and shout out to Graciella because she's a nice lady and all that, no offense to her, nothing like that. She's a great lady, very hospitable, all that. But when they dumped her off and was trying to say goodbye and all that, and they was acting like it was all cool and it was going to be all normal after that. Like, no, things are never going to be the same once you do this. Like, y'all are making a choice right now. Understand that. Like, if you make a choice like this, there's no way the relationship between Molly and them is ever really going to be the same. Because she's always going to be skeptical in her mind. Like, when's the next time they're going to try and get rid of me? I mean, they got their stuff going on. What will they do? I mean, they've already murdered a whole bunch of people through sacrifice and all that. Like, well, who's next? Is it going to be one of us, one of the friend group? Or is it going to be her herself? So, like, how can you ever trust them again? And at the end of the day, they're not your family. So, it's a tough situation. It's a really tough situation for Molly, and I feel for her in this episode. And I kind of like, it makes me a little upset at Gert, but I mean, I get it. Gert's just like, if you just kind of stay out of the way for now, bide your time, like, we will figure this out. I'm not going to abandon you, but at the same time, it's like, you're telling her to just go and trust you, and it's like, I get it. She won't betray her or anything like that, but it's like, she don't have anybody. She don't have anybody else. And to be just kind of shipped off like that, it's kind of crazy. So, but what really kicks off episode 8 is that Chase is in his dad's office working like normal. You know what I'm saying? Working on his fisticons, the fisticuffs. But, so he's working on those and taking on that, and then his father pulls up, and he's kind of having one of his little episodes, and he's getting upset, and he's talking about, I thought we had an agreement that you would never come in here. And it's like, ever since, because he, in a scene before this, also at the open house, he went and threatened the lacrosse coach to reinstate Chase back onto the team. So clearly, side effects are happening, and withdrawal is happening to Victor due to the side effects of JONAH's medicine or whatever it was. And actually, Dale was also tinkering with that with Stacy, and just a drop got on him and he started tweaking out. It was actually really wild. And he went through a whole crazy hyped up phase, and then he looked like he had a huge hangover and stuff at the open house. So it's like clearly like, and you know, Victor got a whole lot more, so obviously there's going to be way more effects. And so when he started his downswing, he got pretty violent, because when he came back to his normal self, which I still don't think is his normal self though, I think it's just the tumor like it's being accentuated by the medicine. Obviously the come down is going to be worse than the seemingly miracle that took place after he was supposed to be done and over with. So he gets in there, and then, you know, he kind of gets a little violent. You know what I'm saying? He's just started to tear him down, tear Chase down. And he's like, I knew it would come back to this. I knew you hadn't changed. I knew it would be the same. And then he takes a swing, he misses, and I was surprised. I was surprised that he actually did it, but Chase actually knocked the shit out of him. But he knocked him back into the work table, and then the fisticuffs right there. And he's like, Dad, don't do it. And I didn't think he was going to do it, but obviously, like, that's not him right now. It's like, there's some other stuff going on. But so it's weird because you don't know if that's really him or not. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that it's the brain tumor that's doing that to him in conjunction with the medicine that Jonah gave him. But then he blasts his son through the fucking glass wall. And honestly, now the fisticuffs got some punch. Now they look like they could do some damage. And then he starts walking toward him like he's about to finish him off. And then Janet comes through the door and pops this nigga right in the chest, right in the heart. And honestly, I don't blame her for it. What the fuck? Kill that nigga. He coming up on your son, looking like he trying to finish him. No, I'm gonna lay the nigga down. And it's crazy because she actually does it with the gun that Robert gave her, and like way back towards the beginning of the show when we first found out that they was actually having an affair, right? And then what do we proceed to do from there? We gotta call all the prod up. And then they roll through and they're trying to handle the situation, and nothing they're doing is working. So what do they choose to do? They choose to bring in Frank, and they've gotten Chase out of there because, you know, Alex's dad kind of comes through and intimidates him, but, you know, they say it's all for the best for him, and, you know, due to the circumstances and stuff like that, they can't let this be known to the public, and for reasons, because, like, if this came to light, you know, Janet would go away to jail for a very long time for shooting her husband with her lover's gun, so, you know, it's a very particular situation. It's very unstable right now, so it makes sense if you're trying to keep all this stuff covered up. And honestly, Chase kind of goes with it, and this is where I have a problem, man. This is where I have a problem, Chase. You little bitch. Okay, I'm gonna get to you. But all right. So what happens then is now a couple different things are happening, right? Graciela gives Molly a letter which has some contents and a message from her parents and stuff like that, and ultimately it just leads to a locker and stuff at a downtown train station, and it's also got a message about her elephant, so I don't really know what that's about. Carolina and Gert team up because Chase calls Gert first, and she doesn't answer because she's downstairs hanging out with the raptor or whatever in her house, and she doesn't want to be alone or whatever. And then he calls Carolina, and he has a short-lived conversation with her because he's like, would you mind coming over? I don't want to be alone right now. And it's like, oh my God, stop acting moist, man. Like, grab your balls in your hand. All right? Ridiculous. But it's, you call one girl, then she doesn't work, so let me call the other one, make sure that we, you know, try and slide and do some nonsense right now. Like, let's stop it, please. But, okay, he rubbed me the wrong way he does it by the end of this episode, right? But he kind of goes back on it right quick, and he's like, well, never mind. I mean, I shouldn't even brought you into this at all. Hangs up real quick. And Leslie pops in with her nosy ass. She's like, everything okay? Anything you want to tell me? And she's like, no, it's all good. She's gonna go to bed. And she don't wait, not but 30 seconds after she closed the door or whatever. Not even that. Like, literally, as soon as she closed the door, she hops on the phone and calls Gert. It's like, hey, I need you to go pick me up. We need to go get changed or something wrong. And I will say I do like how Gert broke down and assessed the situation so fast. She was like, "So, you want me to go with you because he kissed you and you don't like it because you like Nico? All right, I'll be on the way." It's like, oh my God, we don't have time for this. We don't have time for this. Okay. But and she chooses to bring the raptor also. And they go on their own little mission to go and make sure that Chase is all right. But it doesn't really come to anything either. So, you know, they didn't have to put the raptor into use. And I'm a little upset about that. Hopefully we get some of that in the finale. Or at least the last 2 episodes coming up here in a second. But what does end up taking place is that they can't bring Victor back. But Jonah pulls up and he's pissed because the last thing that Leslie texted him was that order was restored. He's like, oh, I wouldn't miss this for the world. Oh, by the way, we need Victor. So choose which one of you is going to go in the box and be the person that gives their life basically for Victor. And it's so messed up because obviously none of them volunteer or whatever. He was like, well, you know, we're going to put this on the person that started this mess. Janet, you up? It's like, whoa! It's like, you know what? We need this nigga way more than we need you. So, wife, it's your time. Step up to the plate. It's wild. It's wild. She starts begging. She starts pleading. All that. And, you know, there's a whole little standoff that happens because Dale starts pulling the gun out. And then Jeffrey does also because Jonah made it. He basically put it like this. He's like, you know, if Victor don't survive, then none of all of you or your children survive. I'm going to just put it like that. And then everyone starts going at each other. It's obviously it's a high stakes situation, but they all just start bickering like they're in high school. It's the soap opera element to this show, I think, is what really makes it go for me. I'm not going to lie, because they know what they're doing. They're being extra dramatic and all this other stuff with how they're going back and forth at each other and the camera angles are bouncing back and forth. And it's enough! And then what happened next, I could not have predicted because Robert has a fisting gun on and then he is already stripped down like he's ready to go ahead and hop in the box. Because right before that, to make them stop all their arguing, Jonah basically put it down. He said, you know what, this is a family issue. Either you're gonna get in the box or your son's gonna get in the box. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this was the first time where I was like, Jonah, okay, acting like the big man now, acting like a real villain, okay. So Janet was like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and hop in, you know, cool, we ready to go now. But obviously Robert is madly in love with this woman, so he threatens everybody with the weapon and stuff like that. And he's like, I'm gonna do this. She doesn't deserve to die just to save her child. Yada, yada, yada. And Jonah's like, I'm fine with this. You know, he didn't have much use anymore anyway. And it's funny because really, truly, Janet doesn't have much use either. But, you know, they go back and forth for a moment, but then Tina comes out of nowhere, pulls out the staff, and destroys one of the boxes. So they only have the one box left now, and they can't exactly do a sacrifice without 2 to transfer the life energy and all that, however the fuck it works. And so, you know what, Jonah calls it into it. He's like, you know what, we're done now. We're just going to put a stop to all that right now. We're not going to worry about it. It's enough drama for today. And they're going to kind of keep him on ice until they can get another sacrifice, I guess, whether enough to bring him back. So he seems like he's got it well in hand, and he's not taking it out on anybody yet. So we'll just kind of see where that leads. And also, that kind of led to a moment where, like, you know, Robert came up to his wife and was like, you know, he started speaking in Japanese or whatever. So it was interesting little moment. She didn't exactly give back that love, so it's that, oh, I love you, I don't love you. You know, it's that melodramatic stuff, man, you know. But like I said before, the previous review, it's the parents drama that keeps pulling me back in. But what happened at the end of this episode makes me sick. It makes me sick. Alright? Dog, all the runaway kids pull up. Alright? All the kids pull they finally got the data. They got the data because, you know, Nico and Alex cracked the code on what Amy actually left behind. She actually had the footage of them doing all those sacrifices and things like that. And that's why she got in the end, because I guess the parents found out and did something about it. I don't know if that was Flores that found out and did something about it, or if that was Jonah that found out and did something about it. It's really up in the air on that one because they leave that as a cliffhanger at the very end. But what happens is Alex pulls up with the fucking laptop, and then people all of a sudden start getting cold feet, my nigga. All of a sudden, Carolina talks about, oh, I don't think we should do it. I don't think we should rely on my dad, Frank. And then it's like, girls, like, what in the world, where the hell is we doing relying on Frank Dean? That's when all our hope is lost. And then Jason's like, oh, we can't do it because if we do it, then my dad is gonna die. Fuck your daddy, nigga. Okay, all of your parents is murderers. Keep that in mind. What gives them the right to be out here walking around free, happy, and clear? Yeah, your daddy's hurt right now, but y'all trying to bring it back and have everything be all hunky-dory, PG King? No! And Alex was keeping that same energy and that perspective. He was like, no, you don't get to decide that. And then here we go. Chase starts knocking the shit out of him and stuff. They get into a little brawl and stuff like that. And then he takes the laptop, smashes it on the fucking ground and stuff. I'm sorry. If I was Alex, I would have killed him. He's talking about, I'm sorry. No, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you. How dare you? How dare you let us come this far only to lose your resolve? For what? And for what? For these murderers? Okay, here's the deal, right? I don't give a damn what reason they have for being in this group. And that goes for Dale and Stacy too, because they're the only two where I can actually kind of give them a little bit of a pass, because they're just researchers. They're just scientists. They're pursuing science. Like, that's a greater cause in and of itself. But the rest of you just wanted to prosper and come up in ways that you never had the ability to before. And you cover up your own dirt. And you break the rules and you think that's okay. And you build a school and you think that makes it all gravy. No, we won't let you slide like that. But that is the review and breakdown for the last couple of episodes and episode 8 of The Runaways. Let me know what you thought about all the stuff that's going down. I'm sure I missed all types of things because that's what I'll say about the show. The pace is bad for certain episodes. But for some, like episode 8, ooh, too much happens. Oh my God. I can't take it. But like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the next review. But whatever it is, it's been your boy T-Rav, and I'm out. Go Marvel! Make it.